Your Story family, this is Allison Gaillard with Run Your Story, where every story needs to be heard. And what a story. So excited for you guys to hear about my amazing friend, Meredith Nations. I absolutely love her. She's amazing. We run together sometimes. We smack talk a lot to each other on the pickleball court. She's absolutely phenomenal and brings such an energy to running, and I absolutely adore and love her. She brings so much wisdom. She also reminds us how important it is to reach out to those who've been injured in our running community, and they are still a part of the running community. And side note, if you are going through an injury, we love you. You are amazing, and we're going to find a way to plug you in. That's exactly what Meredith has taught us. So reach out to your buddies that are injured. And again, if you're going through an injury, Meredith's story is here to inspire you, and along with so many past stories about perseverance. And so you've got this. This is not the end, and your stories inspire, and that's why they need to be heard. So guys, Meredith's story is phenomenal, and I'm so excited for you guys to get to meet her and hear her story. So thank you, my friend. So excited to be able to share that. Guys, this month's podcast is being brought to you by Fresh Junkie Racing. And if you know me, you know how much I love Fresh Junkie Racing, who proudly produces Battleship 12K, which again, if you know me, you know my favorite race. Fresh Junkie Racing manages, markets, and produces 24 events annually. And that includes across our state and in Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, Georgia, and Missouri. These guys create amazing experiences for over 50,000 participants annually. These events produce over $15 million in economic impact in our communities, which also include 12,000 hotel room nights and $2.7 million in charitable impact. There's so much more than racing. I mean, geez, they give $2.7 million in charitable, like phenomenal. For more information and to sign up for any of the Fresh Junkie Racings and their fantastic events, visit them at freshjunkie.com, and also you can find them on Run Your Story. They also have amazing social media as well. And again, don't forget to use that amazing, beautiful code RunYourStory15 to save on any races that you want to do with Fresh Junkie. Again, Mike and the team there at Fresh Junkie Racing, they are absolutely phenomenal, and cannot wait to see everybody at Battleship 12K. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Just truly grateful. Guys, don't forget to like, share, and comment on Meredith's podcast. Her story's coming up, and you guys are going to want to share this. So cannot wait to hear what you have to say and how impactful her story is, as much as it meant to me. It was absolutely incredible. And again, thank you, Meredith, for sharing your story. You're just beautiful, my friend. All right, guys, lace up those running shoes. Get ready, get set, and go running with my friend Meredith. Finally, about time that we have you down, sitting down to tell your story. Man, Meredith, we've known each other for a while.
Good a while.
Yeah, but right here recently, we've been spending a lot of time together, which I love, both on the pavement
and on the
pickleball court. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this out here. Meredith is a diver and a slammer in pickleball, in case anyone wants to know.
You should come play with us.
That's absolutely. She will tell you that you can still be friends after you get done.
That's right. It's always friendly competition.
Is it though?
Once it's over.
No, there it is.
Once it's over. If you're on the other side of the net, I'm trying to beat you.
This is true. And I've seen you take some crazy dives. I love it. I love our friendship. I love your story. You shared only part of it with me while we were out for a run. And I was like, Meredith, we've got to have you on. So what is your run story, my friend?
I'm going to try to keep pretty brief, but I'll give you the summary. Pretty much all my life I was an athlete. From about the time I could walk, I was in some kind of sport. I mean, you name it, I was just about involved in it. Karate, dance, volleyball, softball, gymnastics, track even. I did the long jump, believe it or not.
What? I did not know that.
I know,
okay.
Right? Racquetball, backyard football. If it was a sport, I played it. I was pretty much in shape all my life. But then I started playing college softball at University of Mobile, and for some reason, I started packing on the pounds. And they just kept coming, and it didn't matter what I did. I guess all the Coke and chips I ate all growing up started catching up with me. I don't know what happened. But I just started gaining weight like crazy. And it got to be pretty serious. And I was very overweight. I was unhealthy. After college was over, I was inactive. I would try to run for a while, and then something would happen, and I'd fall off the wagon, and the wagon would run over me. And I would sulk and pout for a while, and then a few months later, I'd try to get back on the wagon again. And it was just a cycle that happened for several years. And then one summer, I think it was 2014, I stopped drinking Coca-Colas. I was a Coca-Cola addict, and I drank several a day, and it was bad. I didn't drink water or anything. It was very bad. I stopped cold turkey drinking Cokes, and then I started working with Suzanne Christ.
Oh, that's all you had to say.
End of the story. That was a major shift. That's all you have to know about that. She wouldn't leave me alone about running, and she kept encouraging me to run. She's a very persistent friend.
Oh my gosh, she is that.
And so she got me running, and she likes to tell the story about how when I just started, I could never beat her, and then all of a sudden I'm faster than her, and I was beating her. And she loves to tell that story, but she wouldn't let it go, and I started running at Buffalo Wild Wings with the Wednesday night group and all that, and got back in with the combination of eating better and not drinking all the sodas, and then running again. I lost 80 pounds.
Wow.
I lost 80 pounds, and I got fit, and of course one thing leads to another. She got us into triathlons, as she mentioned in her podcast, and I really love the triathlons. It's a really wonderful sport, and so she got us involved in that. So then I ran my first marathon in 2018.
Wow.
And if you ran a marathon, you know all the training that comes along with that. So guess what happened? Started packing on the pounds, training for a marathon, because I was always hungry. I was burning so many calories. And I was like, I just ran 10 miles, I can eat 3 cookies. So anyway, I started packing on the pounds again in 2018. I'd kept all that 80 pounds off for 3-4 years.
Wow.
Started gaining weight again, but I was still running, I was still active, but for some reason I was just gaining weight, and I couldn't figure it out. And so I did my first marathon in 2018 with my friend Melanie. We did that, and it was good. And then the same year I did a half Ironman.
Wow.
Which almost killed me. But I did those 2 things in the same year, and I think that all the ramping up the training all of a sudden got to me, and it got to my knees. And started having knee problems. I had a scope in 2019. It didn't really help. The shot, nothing helped. It got to where I tried to run through it. It just got to where I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't work, stand at work. I couldn't walk my dogs. I couldn't ride my bike. That hurt even. Everything hurt. It just got to where it was keeping me from doing daily living tasks. And so I had, at 44 years old, a right knee replacement.
Wow.
And then the following summer, at 45 years old, I had my other knee replaced. So here I am, before 50, with 2 artificial knees. And I thought I would never run again. My physical therapist told me I'd never run again. The doctors didn't advise running again. And I was really down about it.
Sure.
So for all that time that I was having the knee pain, 2019 to 2 or 3 years, I wasn't running. It's like I fell off the face of the earth as far as my running friends were concerned. So you pretty much lost contact with them, and I was just really in a dark place. I was frustrated and discouraged, depressed almost, because running was, and it's getting into the lessons learned, but running was my identity, and I was really down about it. But I went through the physical therapy and started walking, and then I started jogging, and then I found a run club online that just, by the grace of God, popped up on Facebook, and it's a run club called Run for God. I joined that, and that was really a big encouragement to get me back into it and work my way back to a 5K. So I'm just so thankful to be running again. I don't think I'll ever take it for granted again. And I'm slow, I'm back of the pack, I'm running intervals, but I'm running.
Absolutely.
So that's my run story.
Oh, I love that. I love this journey because you said something, one, that you're like, I won't ever take this for granted again. And just like how other people have said, don't take disability for granted. Like an injury can happen. Obviously, surgeries can happen. But let's talk about I Run for God. What does that entail?
The Run Club is a national, it's really international because there's some people from other countries. Run Club, and it intersects your faith walk with your running journey. And there are running plans from 5K up to the marathon. There's a private online Facebook group just for the Run Club members. And people post all the time and encourage each other in their running journey and in their faith journey. And there's a weekly podcast from Coach Dean and Mitchell, the founder of Run for God. So they're really encouraging you to stay fit or get started if you hadn't started, and then in your faith journey as well. So it's a intersection between running and faith. They try to win people for Christ through the sport of running.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And as I've learned with Jack Hester and in conversations that I've had with him and so many other people, our faith parallels running.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, not only does scripture talk about running, but as we're out on the pavement, there are some intense conversations that happen. You're out in nature, you're out in creation, and then you never know who you're going to meet along the way. I love that so much. I appreciate you sharing that. That's really cool. So speaking of lessons learned, let's dive into that, because you talked about, one, not taking running for granted. So what does that look like now?
Well, now when I'm tired or busy or it's too cold or it's too hot, I'm going to go out there and run because I can.
Yeah. Ooh.
I might have would have made an excuse in the past. But my identity really used to be in running in the triathlons. I was never super fast, but I'd win an occasional age group if it was a small enough of a race. Or I would win an Athena award because a lot of people are too scared or embarrassed to join the Athena category, but not me, girl.
That's right, girl. Hey.
So anyway, I would win that. But it really was my life. It had become my life. And I felt like I couldn't live without it. And if something interrupted my training schedule, I was get all out of whack about that. It become my little G God. It's like I idolized it, and it's like it had to be taken away from me for a time in order for me to understand where my priorities should be. It was taken away for several years, and I didn't know that I'd ever get it back. But it's not that running's a bad thing, and it's not that being addicted to running seemed like it would be a good thing, right?
Right.
But when you get your priorities out of order and that becomes first place, and you know you should have something else first place, and that's where the problem lies. I love it. I still think I'm a little bit addicted to it, but it's just not first place. If you miss a run, okay, you miss a run.
Yeah.
And it's not the end of the world. And then I'll just pick back up next time.
And I think that one of the times we went running, and you were sharing a little bit of this with me, it resonated with me because that's so much a part of my run story too, is where I had to walk away from running and wasn't sure if I was going to be able to come back to run. Not that it was an injury, but I had realized, hey, I have lost my priorities. And I mean, I was sidelined due to an injury, but not a surgical one. So the fact that you're back, and you're such an encouragement. Let me just say, if somebody's not ran with you, they're missing out on a good time. It's funny. So much fun. I absolutely love it.
I enjoy it. I really do enjoy it. I'm just so thankful to be able to do it again, honestly.
And you're back to riding bikes too?
I'm back to riding a little bit. Not as much as I'd like to. Not as much as I want to get back on the saddle with that. I do, because I really love cycling.
Yeah, let's go.
But I've not ridden very much lately.
I gotta know, what is your favorite race and why?
I would say that my favorite race was the marathon that I did. I did Rock and Roll New Orleans.
Okay.
Several of us were doing it, but my friend Melanie Winter almost forced me to do it because I wasn't sure I was ready for 26.2. And I kept putting her off and putting her off and putting her off. But she finally convinced me to do it. I'm so glad I did. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, I think, athletic-wise, besides the half Ironman. But just sticking to running, it was the hardest race I've ever run. And I think it was the most rewarding. I can do this. I can do hard things. The first half of the race was fabulous. Lots of bands, lots of music, lots of spectators. It was flat. It was cool that morning. We were hitting a good pace, and we were just jogging and talking and enjoying each other, enjoying the race. Then about halfway through, when the half marathoners were pulling in the park and the full marathoners took a right and kept going, it's like, hey, where'd all the spectators go? And where's all the music? And man. And then I got a text on my phone that's from a friend that said, sorry for your loss. And I'm like, oh, Melanie. And I told her about it, and she's like, what are you going to do? I said, well, I'm not going to call anybody. I'm not going to text. I'm not going to look at Facebook. I'm just going to keep running, because if I know, I won't be able to finish the race.
Yeah.
And I'm going to finish the race. And so she was really encouraging and supportive, and we worked on it, and we finished that race together. But And then I had some friends who met me at the finish line, so that made it really special. But I think just overcoming the difficulties of running 26.2 and the difficulty of getting the bad news text halfway through, it just made it special. It's weird that's my favorite race, but
No.
I think it is.
Yeah. Can I ask who the text was about?
A family member had died that day. It was unexpected.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was tough.
But to push through that emotionally and mentally, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. What does your pre-race routine look like?
You got to get the gear out the night before.
Flat Meredith?
Yep. Got to get everything ready. Got to wake up early, eat something, take care of business, get to the race a little early, but I'm not one of those that have to get there a few hours early and run 10 miles before. That's not me. I get there and early enough to get a parking spot.
That's right.
I don't care about the warm-up. It's
That's
the parking spot.
right.
I get there a little early, walk a little bit, stretch a little bit, and I like to talk and then just enjoy the camaraderie of the other racers. I enjoy that.
I love that. Cross the finish line. What does your post-race look like?
Whatever snack they have, I'm eating that and drinking water. I like to walk it off a little bit, stretch a little bit if I can, but I just like to hang out with my running friends, honestly. It's all about the community for me.
100%. I feel like we're twins. I think that's why we run so well together.
Because I'm never going to win a race. So that's not what it's all about for me. It's just about being out there and being healthy and getting out there and enjoying the company of other like-minded people.
Absolutely.
So I enjoy the camaraderie and the fellowship before and after the race. So, yeah.
I love that. What is your favorite running item?
I have 3 non-negotiables that I will not run. If I don't have these 3 things, I will not run.
Okay.
It's not going to happen.
Okay.
Without my head sweats visor.
Ooh, okay.
I have several.
You do, yes.
I have a lot of those, but I'm not running without a visor. And I'm not running without a ponytail.
Sure, okay.
You know, I see how people run with their hair down.
That's right, I'm with you.
I would rather shoot myself. And then my running shorts, I don't even really know what they're called. I'd say running tights, but they're above the knee. I can't wear shorts anymore. It just drives me crazy and rubs me raw and all that. So running tights.
Running tights.
I'm not running without those 3 things.
I love it. I love when we get together because I do wonder what visor you're going to wear. Yeah. That is something that I do look forward to. And I'm always like, oh, I'm about to go do that race. Like, oh, I hope they have that style, like, or that design.
Yeah. That's one of the greatest inventions ever.
I love it. Absolutely love it. Running shoes.
I wear Hoka Bondies.
Okay.
I went back and forth between Brooks and Hoka's for a long time, but I just think the Hoka's work out well for me right now.
Okay.
I did love the Brooks. But I think with my Athena body, that the Hoka's work out well. They keep my feet from hurting. I have plantar fasciitis oftentimes.
Brutal. Yeah.
So I think the Hoka's really help with that.
Yeah. And that is a no joke. Plantar fasciitis. Like that is just terrible.
Painful.
Oh man.
And I'm more of a jogger slogger.
Stop it.
And so I need the cushion. You know what I mean? I need the cushion on my feet because I'm not going really fast.
I will tell you, I think that's the reason why I like Joe Kane 5K is because they're one of the very few races that has an Athena category besides the triathlons.
Really? Okay. I've never done that one.
Yeah. Really?
I've never done Joe Kane.
Okay. It's a good one.
I know some friends said this is their favorite race, but
the road's a little wonky, but I like the fact that there's that category.
Okay.
That I have somewhat of a chance. I've yet to place, but it's there.
I feel you.
Okay, for the longer runs, how do you fuel?
For the longer runs, I'm going to have usually a water or something with electrolytes in it, depending on how long it is.
Okay.
If I'm running in my neighborhood, I'll start out with water and run back by the house and get something with electrolytes in it if it's a really long run. I mean, something with sugar in it. Gels, Sour Patch Kids, Skittles, anything like that I happen to have. And I'll put a few in my water bottle pouch.
Oh,
and I'll just put one in every mile or 2.
That's right. I do remember that. We were running at Cottage Hill Park. And you were like, hey, you want a gummy?
Yeah. I just keep them in my little pouch.
I love that.
A little Scooby snack.
Do you have a favorite running memory?
I have 2.
Oh, perfect.
I have 2. One is my family used to always have an annual Christmas sleepover at one of my brother's houses, and my brothers and my parents and my nieces and nephews, we'd all get together and spend the night at brother's house. And so my other brother would get up with me and we would run that morning before breakfast. And so it was just a really special time to be able to spend time with my brother. And you get grown and y'all have your own families, you don't get to spend as much time together. So that was really special because we'd be able to do something together, just the two of us, and be able to just talk about things. You ordinarily don't get to have that time just one-on-one. One year my sister-in-law even joined us.
Oh,
so that was really cool.
That is such a cool.
That's one of my favorite memories. And my other favorite memory I want to try to talk about without crying. I mentioned the Run for God Run Club. And when I got started with that, if you join Run Club, they have a couch to marathon program, and they break it up into segments, 5K, 10K, half to full. So I was training for the 5K, and if you're a member of Run Club, then you can go do their 5K in Dalton, Georgia, where they're based out of, for free, if you can get there. I just couldn't work out the details and the logistics where I could get there to Dalton that year. So I had trained for the 5K. I was going to run the 5K, and so I put it out there on Facebook. Hey, I'm doing this 5K. Does anybody want to come run with me? So that morning I did the 5K. I probably had 30-something people show up at my house to run with me in my neighborhood. And it was just so special. Old running friends, old triathlon friends, church friends. I had some neighbors just in the neighborhood come out, a co-worker, my sister-in-law, and my nieces. They all showed up and ran in the neighborhood with me that day, and it was incredible. It was very special. I thought to myself, why are all these people here for little old me? But it just goes to show you how people do care for you.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's probably one of the top ones.
And it goes back to how important community is for you.
Yeah.
And there was no glamorous finish line. There was no medal.
They
it was your
actually
people.
made me a medal.
Oh, I love that.
Yes, they made me a medal and gave me a medal afterwards.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
There was a medal, but it was about the people that were there and that memory.
And the support, yeah.
That is absolutely fantastic.
It was amazing.
I love that so much.
So thankful.
Running jams?
I just listen to podcasts, to be honest. I've never really been a listener of music while I run. I used to run with nothing, but now I listen to podcasts. It's usually either Run for God or Run Your Story.
Oh, look at that!
Usually one of those two. Sometimes I'll save them just for my run.
Oh, I love that.
I want to listen to them when they come out, but I'm like, no, I got to run tomorrow. I'll wait till tomorrow to listen to it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's so cool. Do you have a meal, whether it's pre or post, that you're like, oh man, I cannot wait to eat this?
If I'm racing the night before, I like to eat some kind of pasta, if possible. The morning of, something light, toast, banana, something easy. But afterwards, I like to have a good burger and fries.
Oh, okay.
It's my post race.
I'm with you. Okay, let's talk about recovery. Do you have a favorite recovery tool?
Not a tool per se. I like to stretch. I used to not stretch. Now that I'm older, I feel like it's pretty important. I think stretching and refueling with food are really my two go-to tools. I have some rollers and different things like that I don't really use very often.
We just look at them.
We just look at them. They just collect dust.
Do you have a favorite cross-training activity?
Pickleball. Pickleball is number one right now.
Okay.
I love cycling. It's just one of those things where you got to get in a group if you're going to really go out. I don't want to cycle out by myself.
100%.
It's just not that fun to do it in your neighborhood because there's too many stops and all that. So I just really haven't had an opportunity to get back out there on the bike. But I do love cycling. Hiking I love. But my number one right there has got to be pickleball.
So how did you get into pickleball?
My church offered it.
Okay.
And some ladies in my life group said, hey, you want to come play pickleball? And I'm like, what's pickleball? And then I'd play sporadically. And then this summer, I just started playing a lot. They opened up the church 2 or 3 days a week, and we go up there and play. So ever since this summer, I've been playing at least twice a week.
And you're such an insane player. You're hardcore, Meredith.
It's fun. I'm pretty competitive.
I would not say pretty. I would say competitive. You are extremely competitive.
Yeah, I'm pretty competitive. Yeah.
I am not exaggerating when I say that Meredith dives for balls. Full on, full body contact.
Yeah.
The ball's not passing her.
If we're indoors. Yeah. I'm not diving outside yet. I'm not that hardcore yet, but yes. It's one of those sports where anybody can get out and play, and that's what I love about it. I know this is not a pickleball podcast, but I'm just going to put it out there.
Absolutely.
The pickleball is a fantastic sport because an 8-year-old can play a 7-year-old, and it can be a competitive game.
Absolutely.
So it doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what body shape you have. It doesn't matter what you look like. You can play pickleball. You don't have to be good at tennis or ping pong or badminton. But you can play pickleball. It's an easy sport to pick up, and you don't have to run a long ways. It's not like a tennis court. So if you want to get active but you feel like running is not for you, then maybe pickleball is your sport.
And I'll say this too. I think a lot like the running community, and one reason that I like it is with the right people with pickleball, because there are some people that are very intense.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're intense but fun intense. Like we smack talk, but then the thing I love is that it doesn't matter what side we're on. If someone makes a good play, everyone's like, hey, that was a great play.
Right.
That was a great volley.
Right.
Just like in running, people are like, hey, job well done, you crossed the finish line.
It's very encouraging.
It's so encouraging.
And overall, people will welcome a beginner player.
100%.
Most of the time, beginners are welcome because they want to grow the sport.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that so much. Okay, is there a race that you're like, yeah, I don't think I'll go back and do?
Some people are going to be upset with this answer, but I hated the Disney half.
Oh, okay.
It was awful. It was so crowded. I didn't have a verifiable time that I could list when I registered, so they put me in the last corral.
Okay.
That was back when I was running, not intervals. I was running, but I didn't have a time to post, so I was at the back. It was just outrageously crowded. I had to run off the road because I'm trying to run around so many people. It's freezing cold. You have to get up in the middle of the night and stand out there for hours in the freezing cold, in the dark. It was miserable. I didn't like it.
Tell me how you really feel about the race.
And I was not in it just to take pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in it to run, and I wanted to do a good job, but I just couldn't do it because of all the things I mentioned. So, yeah. It was terrible.
No. So, Meredith, I'm
probably not ever doing that again.
That's okay.
And it's really expensive.
Yeah.
It's really expensive.
And you have to wait, like at your computer, ready to go. If not, you can lose a spot.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It was crazy.
Let's say somebody hears this and they're like, Meredith, I want to get started into running. How do I do that? What is the piece of advice you'd give them?
I would say start small and don't try to do too much too fast because that's how injuries happen. A couch to 5K or something similar to that is a great place to start. Start with intervals. The hardest part is getting started. If you can take that first step, then you can do it. And if I can do it, the Lord knows anybody can do it. It's like anything else. Once you get in a routine, once you get started, get in a routine, it's easier to keep the habit going. And also if you can find a running buddy, someone that at least holds you accountable. If they're not going to run with you, at least ask you how your running is going. That always helps. Don't worry about speed. Don't worry about being fast. Don't worry about trying to win anything. Just jog at a comfortable pace so you can control your breathing. So if you get out of breath, then that's when it's not fun.
That's when you're not breathing.
Right. So yeah, breathing's good. We need to breathe. Starting small and not trying to go too far too fast. And get fitted for good shoes.
Oh, that's good.
It's well worth the money. If you don't spend money on anything, spend it on your shoes.
Absolutely. And a good visor. And a good pair of running tights.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about goals, my friend. I know you have some racing coming up. So what does that look like?
I have 2 big races that I'm signed up for. Battleship 12K and then Mississippi Gulf Coast Half.
Woo-hoo!
So that's my end goal. It's been a while since I trained anything because of my injuries and surgeries and all. So these are really the 2 biggest races I've done since then. Then after that, I don't know. I might take a break from racing anything and just do it for the fitness of it and not have to train because your training plan keeps you sometimes from cycling or playing pickleball or different things like that. I really just want to be able to diversify and do physical activities just for the enjoyment and the health benefits without saying I have to do
Yeah.
10 miles today and 12 miles next week and something like that. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But the half in December is the big goal.
I love. Have you done that one before?
I have not. I'm excited about it.
So excited. And I'm still trying to talk you into Girls Weekend.
Yes.
To joining us.
Yes.
So the rest of the girls that are going, I'm trying to convince her.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Can you help me find a dog sitter?
Gray.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
As he's editing this, he's going to be like, you just volunteered me. Listen, dogs love Gray.
Dogs ever.
Dogs love him. They really do. It's wild.
I have the best girls.
Because he's not going because it's a girls' weekend.
Perfect.
There we go. See, I
right,
solved
Gray.
your problems on the podcast.
All right, Gray, you're in. Put you on the payroll.
Mantra for when things get hard. Is there something that you say?
I wouldn't say there's just like one line or anything like that, but I have to encourage myself sometimes and talk to myself. A lot of times I find myself reminding me that my legs are the strongest part of my body when I get tired.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, your legs are your strongest part. Use your legs, use your legs, use your legs. And sometimes when you get tired, your form starts becoming poor, and sometimes I'll find myself tensing up, so I'll tell myself to relax a lot. Relax and use your legs. I say that a lot. One foot in front of the other. You're going to get there one step at a time. You can do this. I'll tell myself you're almost there. So those are just some of the things that I tend to repeat to myself when I'm ready to quit. And then I have just a little bit more to go. So
I absolutely love that. I never thought to say, your legs are fine. Use them. Let's go.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but I mean, my legs just start hurting and I'm just ready to stop and walk sometimes. And so you just have to remind yourself, you can do this. Come on, legs.
Yeah, come on, legs.
The strongest part of my body, legs. You got this.
Love that so much.
Yeah.
Of all the running that you do, what has been your favorite length to run?
Pre-surgeries, I would say the 4 to 6 mile range was my favorite. Right now, I'm really just getting back into it. I really like the 2 to 3 mile range. I feel like I can keep a pretty decent pace at that range. When it gets much longer than that, I tend to find myself slowing down a little bit.
Okay.
Getting a little tired. Right now, I would say the 2 to 3.
Okay.
Used to be 4 to 6. We'll see where it is.
That's
a few
right.
months from
That's
now.
right. Absolutely. When you're not running, not playing pickleball, not cycling, not with your dogs, what do you like to do, my friend?
Sports. I'm a huge sports fan, so I love to watch sports in addition to playing sports. So I like to watch a lot of college football and basketball, attend games, baseball. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm a teacher, robotics coach, so that takes a lot of time. I like hiking with the dogs. That's it.
Now, let me see if I can straighten this out. You are an Alabama fan, but you've been converted to an Auburn fan. Is that right? Did I say that right?
Oh, no.
Yeah. You knew that had to come out.
Oh, no. I'm a house divided within myself. I was born and raised an Alabama fan. I hope my family doesn't listen to this podcast. They raised me right. But I've spent so many years going to Auburn and Auburn athletic events with family friends that, yeah, it's just grown on me. And so, yeah, I'm both split down the middle.
I'm a house divided on the inside.
You just got me in big trouble.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know that your family didn't know.
Some of them know.
Now they all know.
Now we all know. Okay. It's out now. I have some Auburn clothes that I usually just wear in Auburn.
Oh.
I have Alabama clothes that I wear when I'm in Mobile.
Oh. Now that it's out and about, just wear them anytime.
I did wear an Auburn shirt the other day for the family friend's birthday party here in Mobile, and I went to a family event right after that because I had 2 events at the same time, and so I had the Auburn shirt on for that. And I walked in and my brother said, "Oh, Meredith, that just hurts my heart." Oh. I said, "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry." Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I like Alabama and I like Auburn.
There you go.
So I just love college sports. I love the idea of college sports and the kids giving it their all and an opportunity to make a better life for themselves. I love watching college sports.
Yeah.
It could just be about any sport. I love to watch it.
Have you been to a South game yet?
I have not been to a South game
Oh, girl,
yet.
we got to get you there.
It's on the list, but I haven't been yet.
Okay.
I've driven by the stadium several times, and it's really nice. Looks really nice.
I got you. Okay. Any final words of wisdom, my friend?
I would just say, don't take this life for granted. One day you may not be able to run, so go out and run in the rain. Go run when it's hot. Go run when it's cold. Go run when you're tired or you feel like you can't fit it in. And just don't take it for granted. I'm just so thankful that I can run again. And if you're one of those people that can run like a gazelle, I'm really jealous of you. But don't take that for granted. And there's somebody out there that would love to run at that pace. And if you're a slow jogger, slogger like me, or a walker, don't take that for granted, because there's some people that would love to do that. And so I would also say that if you know someone that is injured or just hasn't been out in a while, to check up on them. Maybe they just need that little nudge to know that somebody's thinking about them, to get them back out there, get them back running. So
that is good.
That would be my advice.
That is so good. That is such a great reminder that, yeah, injuries do happen. And again, running is not who we are. It's a part of who we are. It's something we get to do.
Absolutely.
But a lot of times it does mess with us and saying, I don't get to do this anymore, or the road to come back looks so long. And now what am I going to do? Who are my people?
It's like when I couldn't run, it's like I said, I fell off the face of the earth. I couldn't join any group runs. I wouldn't volunteer at a race because I can't go out and race. I don't want to go and sit there and watch people do what I'm dying to do that I can't do. I was just real depressed about it. And so I didn't go to any races. I didn't go to any group runs. It's just like I isolated myself from that group. So I would say check up on your people.
That's right. That's so good. Such a great reminder. I love you, my friend. I absolutely adore you. I love our time when we run together or on the court, except for when I'm playing against you in pickleball. And then I'm telling you, she slams it ridiculously hard. Like, it literally sounds, I kid you not, it literally sounds like when a metal bat hits a baseball. And you're just like, that just sounds horrible. Like, it's coming at me. But you are so fun. You are such a joyful runner, such a joyful pickleball player, just a joyful person. And so I love our text. I love our friendship, and I'm just incredibly thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you, and I'm thankful for this podcast. It's been a real blessing in my life, and I just wanted to make sure I say that. It's been very encouraging to me, and I really enjoy hearing other people's stories, and it's inspired me. So I thank you for doing this. It's really meant a lot to me, and thank you for being a great friend. And I just appreciate everything you do for our running community.
I love you big so much. Thanks for doing this. Finally saying yes to me.
Thank you for having me.
Don't you just love my friend Meredith? She's absolutely incredible. I highly encourage that you meet her. She's going to be at Battleship 12K. She's going to be in Mississippi Gulf Coast. I absolutely adore her. She is such a dear friend of mine. And like I said, she's a slammer on the pickleball court. So if you want a real challenge, her name is Meredith Nations. I called her out. I sure did, because she's phenomenal like that. She's hardcore. I absolutely love her. And just the joy that she brings to running. She has such a heart for people and community. And again, such a great reminder to check in on your people. And if you're having a bad day or you're injured, check in. Let somebody know. Say, you know what, I'm having a bad day. And your people are going to show up. And so that's just such a great reminder that Meredith did, and that she reminded us how important it is to be there for our people and to show up even when we're not on the pavement, because running is what we get to do together. It's not who we are. And so that is just a beautiful reminder, as hard as it is. And I just thank her so much for that. And guys, again, thank you to Fresh Junkie Racing so much for showing up and to all these fantastic races that you put on and making sure that runners are taken care of, volunteers are taken care of, and you put on these amazing epic races. I absolutely love Fresh Junkie and cannot say them enough great things about them. They're absolutely incredible. As always, a huge shout out to Gaillard Tech Services for all that he does to provide great podcasts, editing, and our website. We're just truly thankful for him and his gifts. wow, just so thankful. And also to our Patreon supporters, you guys make this possible. And so we're still brainstorming, trying to figure out how to bring more to you guys, because you guys deserve the world, because you are absolutely fantastic. And so thank you so much to our Patreon supporters for making sure that this podcast continues. So if you want to become a Patreon supporter, you can download the Patreon app. You can find us on there, or you can go to our website. The link is on there for Patreon supporters, so definitely do that. Again, like, share, comment. That's how your stories get shared, and they are amazing. They're hard. They're beautiful. They all have a story, and we're all in different chapters, but our stories, they link up, and I absolutely love that. Like, just truly incredible that happens. And I'm thankful so much to all of you for listening to this podcast. It is our heart and soul that we pour into this, and our whole goal is that it deepens the roots of our running community, and that if you have a misconception about the running community, that you get to learn that running is a part of who we are, and you get to learn about everyone's stories and how they got to where they are. So it's so cool, and we absolutely love that. So like, share, comment. It's how your stories get shared. And as always, thank you to Mars Hill for providing us such a great, safe place for us to be able to share our stories. It's funny because Meredith and I were such good friends. We play pickleball together. We spent a lot of time, and she was like, I'm so nervous. And I get it. It's because you're sharing your stories, and it's not easy, even when it's just me. So I just want to say thank you. I don't take that for granted about how open you guys are when you share your stories, because again, they're hard. And like Meredith said, she shares some hard things in this story. And so I just want to commend you guys for doing that, because again, it's not easy. So thank you, because your stories are beautiful. And I love the feedback I get. I love the messages that I get when someone's like, this really spoke to me, and I totally get what they're going through, or this really inspired me. So love your people, love your community, whether someone's injured or they're crossing the finish line. Guys, we can do this together and make our community even better. And so I love that. Thank you, Meredith, for that great reminder. And thank you for reminding us that we all matter, no matter if we're sidelined from an injury or making our comeback. So it's important. So Meredith, a part of your story has become a part of mine, and I'm so grateful for that. And I treasure our friendship and the time that we have on the pavement together. You're just such a shining star, and you love people so well. So guys, get out there, run your story, because every story needs to be heard.